Join me today as I renew my spirit in the Mojave Desert Mountains. Walk through old-growth Joshua tree groves and connect with ancient spirits of the Mojave in today's video. Sunday is Spiritual Renewal Day in my weekly wellness routine, and my favorite way to do that is by getting out into nature. It's a beautiful day in the Mojave Desert Mountains. On this pristine Sunday afternoon in February, there's not a cloud in the crystal clear sky. I'm walking down my favorite lonely dirt road. I notice for the first time one of the most complex and ancient Joshua trees I've ever seen. It rises majestically from the ground in multiple trunks and branches, stretching in every direction. I'm captivated by the complexity of it. The intricate boughs and spikes create an incredible pattern against the cerulean blue sky. This Joshua tree is hundreds of years old and has miraculously escaped the many fires that periodically come down from the pine forest-covered peaks of the Big Bear Mountains. The trunks have collapsed and then continued to live, creating incredible sculptural limbs thrusting in every direction towards the sun. What a magnificent being to live through centuries of scorching hot summers, frigid snowy winters, and the relentless wind of the Mojave Desert Mountains. Within this gigantic Joshua tree is a perfect little clearing, an ideal place to sit and take in its awe-inspiring beauty. As large as it seems from the road, it's so much bigger up close. I wave to a familiar face as I enter this world unto itself. I can't resist taking a moment to appreciate and feel at one with this majestic living being. Here it's growing horizontally, a testament to its adaptability. Rising up from the ground, this Joshua tree exudes power. Being under here feels incredible. I feel so small and just a blip on the existence of the earth under here. I'm just marveling at how many branches and spiky leaves this Joshua tree has, and underneath I can truly appreciate how it moves in the breeze. It's incredible that something so strong and formidable can also be so flexible and graceful. This Joshua tree makes the most incredible little cocoon underneath, offering protection from the harsh sun. The branches and spikes sway gracefully in the breeze. It challenges my perception of these trees as rigid and stiff. From underneath, the gently rocking limbs bring the tree's personality to life. The needles are so beautiful against the sky, and the smog and haze of civilization is on the other side of the mountains. The experience of standing under this Joshua tree is truly celestial. Pure Mojave Desert magic. It's so beautiful up here, and the view stretches across the valley towards the mountains for miles. I just have to sit here to truly appreciate it. The desert mountains and their otherworldly landscapes inspire me. The root word of inspiration is spirit. To stimulate and fill one's spirit up to the point that you increase your abilities to a completely new level. I'm inspired to meditate and truly connect with this exact spot on the earth. Just being in this spot, I feel truly grateful, and especially to have the opportunity to get out into nature like this so easily. I feel surrounded by the raw energy of the earth all around me. No wonder people have come to the Mojave Desert for spiritual healing and enlightenment for ages. The name Joshua Tree is attributed to the Mormon settlers who crossed the desert in the mid-1800s. The spiky limbs reminded them of the biblical story of Joshua and his outstretched limbs guiding the Israelites to their conquest of Canaan. The species Yucca brevifolia is also called Izote de Desierto, or desert dagger in Spanish. The Spanish settlers were afraid of the deserts, with their deadly heat and deadlier indigenous tribes. They stayed mainly to the west of the mountain ranges. The lush, high-altitude desert is gorgeous. The sunbeams and shadows dance across the valley. The fresh desert mountain air is invigorating. I already feel revitalized just sitting here. From here you can see the land change from high-altitude Mojave Desert to pine-covered alpine forest. It's framed by the incredible, horizontally outstretched limbs of the Joshua tree. The views just extend out endlessly across the rolling hills and mountains. Snow covers the mountain peaks, and the Joshua trees are lush after 3 wet winters. This particular spot has somehow escaped the successive fires these rugged mountain slopes and valleys have endured. Just up and down the road from here, burned Joshua trees are, a decade later, regenerating and shooting up young, single-branched trees. The beauty of this place and this view is hypnotic. It's so beautiful up here, and the only sound is the gentle breeze through the Joshua tree leaves. This is spiritual renewal in my favorite form, being far from the noise and smog of the settled areas and just observing and appreciating the majestic scale of it all. It's funny, you schedule meetings, dentist appointments, exercise classes, but unless you're a regular churchgoer, you probably don't take time regularly to renew your spirit. Having a wellness routine makes life-changing habits like that easy and automatic. Just taking a little bit of time to decompress, let your mind process, and focus on nature is transformative. The stress of not taking that time compounds, but also the gains from doing it regularly compound as well. I could bring a chair and stay here all afternoon. But there's so much more to experience. It's time to get up, ever so elegantly, and continue on my Sunday stroll in the Mojave Desert Mountains. There's more to explore down my favorite remote trail. A bracing northern wind bears down through the canyon and feels brisk and revitalizing. Here, granite boulders are strewn in every direction as if by a divine but careless hand. Evidence of prehistoric volcanic activity, and they cleave and decompose in the most artful and beguiling formations. This trail is my favorite because of the profusion of boulders and flat-topped volcanic mesas, the only ones in California. This area was heavily populated with indigenous people, and I feel their presence so strongly here. Over the years, I've discovered millstones and petroglyphs here. The discovery of a connection of place to another time feels thrilling. Sadly, most of the petroglyphs from down here at the bottom of the valley have been chiseled out and either sold or destroyed over the years. This trail never disappoints. The panoramic vistas across the open Mojave Desert seem to stretch forever. On a clear day, you can see all the way to Nevada, far across the open Mojave, across some of the toughest and most deadly terrain in North America. Within these boulder formations are many caves and protected lookout points that would have made the perfect seasonal encampment for a tribal band. It's incredible the way the boulders cleave and break apart over time. Between gravity and seismic activity, they certainly move, but is it in a geological or human time frame? So many times before, I've walked down this trail, but today, one spot in particular beckons me. I feel so connected to this place and the spirits of the prior inhabitants. As the sun descends, the copper and gold colors of the boulders start to emerge. The sunbeams dance on the rocks, and they take on a velvety softness at this time, approaching the golden hour. Once again, I'm captivated by this place and need to sit and appreciate this incredible location in space and time. I'm so grateful to be in this beautiful place and to have this peaceful moment to myself. When I sit on this boulder, I feel the raw energy of the earth. The view is truly spectacular. The boulders seem to come alive in the afternoon sun. Everything that looked brown all day is now radiating gold and copper hues. It's so peaceful here. I feel a serenity I haven't felt all week. A weight is lifting from me, and I can feel my spirit renewing. Here, I'm once again called to meditate, and I don't feel alone. Thank you for joining me. There is immense power in stilling your mind. I'm sure you remember the Maya Angelou quote, "When you still your mind, you will hear the voice of God." Don't deny yourself the most important messages of your life, whether it's from Jesus, the universe, infinite intelligence, or simply your own intuition and subconscious mind making new connections and conclusions. This information is easily drowned out by screens, alerts, mindless conversations, and the like. Slowing down that racing stream of consciousness and being present is so much easier in an unspoiled, natural environment. When it comes to meditation, hypnosis, and mindfulness, slowing down the field of consciousness is your biggest initial goal. An overstimulated, chaotic, fearful mind does not have the same cognitive and creative powers as one at peace. The stresses of each day and ongoing situations compound and build up into a sustained, elevated stress level. This is what is making people sick, depressed, anxious, overweight, and addicted insomniacs. It's an imperative that we wrench back control of our conscious and subconscious minds, and we can, but it takes repetition. When you start to meditate and slow down that racing stream of consciousness, you start to see the thought patterns that no longer serve you. I have to touch this incredible hunk of Mojave granite I'm sitting on. I can't describe the sense of gratitude I have for being able to be here right now. What an unbelievable experience this has been. That was incredible. The breeze kicks up as the sun descends. Late afternoon is when the coyote packs come out to hunt, and the rattlesnakes come out onto the trails to warm themselves. That's a great time to get off the trail and enjoy a nice dinner cooked over an open mesquite wood fire. With my spirit renewed, I'm ready for another week. I've shared with you one day of my weekly wellness routine. What's yours? Do you have one? Maybe you have a weekly unwellness routine if you've never thought about it before. It's critical to be intentional and create a lifestyle that makes well-being, health, and happiness automatic and inevitable. I created Natural Lifestyle Optimization to make that easy for you. Thank you for watching, and I hope at least once a week you take time to renew your spirit. Remember, An empty vessel cannot serve, and empty barrels make a whole lot of noise. I'm Will Brennan, natural lifestyle expert and founder of Desert Mountain Apothecary.